Hey everyone, it's Moderately Otaku, bringing you another Recreators review. Now, finally, Souta spills the beans, the truth, in front of the entire group, and that's awesome, because while that might not make everything daijobu from now on, like Altair's not just gonna suddenly disappear, but I feel like Souta finally has a weight lifted off of his chest. And when he explains who Setsuna really is to him, and when he paused, I was like, girlfriend, right? No? I mean, let's be honest, I ship them both. Like, they might as well be girlfriend and boyfriend because their interactions kind of like fit into like a lovey-dovey rom-com. So we find out that Souta isn't the best artist in the world, right? But someone who's like way more talented than he is, Setsuna, comments on his image and says to keep it up, keep up the good work. And that's an awesome thing. I'm kind of like an aspiring artist, more like in my free time. And it's always the best thing ever to see someone who's way more talented notice you. So later on in their interactions, Setsuna wants to go to a panel at a convention, but, she's afraid of going by herself. So she totally asks him, like, hey, you want to go together? And, for a socially awkward, kind of reclusive teenager, right, that's like the best thing ever. It's a godsend. And so, they had many cute interactions at the expo. They had like a really close shave with Danger and all that. And that always brings people together for the most part. But sadly, it doesn't last. And it's all because of jealousy. Now, jealousy isn't really a bad thing, let's be honest. I would actually credit jealousy to a lot of advancement in human society, right? Like you look at your neighbor, your friends, like, hey, I like what they're doing. They're doing something better than me, so I'm gonna work harder and all that. So that's the good side of jealousy. Now, the other side you can take is just, hating on them and just being really resentful. And unfortunately, that's where Souta takes it, and it tears their friendship apart. If I were to draw some parallels in real life, I would say it's kind of like, those cosplayers that do a lot of hard work, into perfecting their costumes, trying to create something really intricate. And then some broad just walks up on the stage and flashes her titties and, the money starts rolling in. Kind of something like that. Obviously, that's not what Setsuna's like. I feel like she's more wholesome and moe and all that. I mean, come on. Glasses girls, right? Hell yeah. So yeah, they grow further apart and becomes even more resentful. He doesn't want to talk to her anymore. And eventually, she gets picked up by a lot of big figures in the community, right? Like, she becomes pretty famous. And at the same time, when you have fame, people start accusing you of like really horrible things. And that happens to Setsuna. She gets accused of plagiarism, and he was just afraid to speak up at the same time. But at the same time, he feels like this really sick satisfaction, just seeing someone you resent who's above you, right, get torn down like that. It's kind of like, yeah, feel like now you know what I feel kind of thing, And so he clearly regrets what he's done. And I feel like he's being a little bit too hard on himself. I feel like he blames himself like directly for her death. But then, it's not like he actively engaged in that, hate campaign against her. But again, the story's not really finished yet, so we don't know the full the full situation yet. But, at the same time, he could have stopped this. His inaction is just almost as bad as not taking any action. And, he could have done anything, like send her a message of support, tell them that you got them. All right? That means a lot to someone in their darkest time. Maybe things would have been different, and you could literally, you could save a life like that. And it's really heartbreaking to see someone with so much talent and potential just die because of that. It's really messed up. But we don't really know the full story yet, and as it seems right now, he hasn't actively attacked her, so I guess we can give him a little bit of pass, although I would say his silence was complicit. Now, Rui is actually kind of an interesting character. He's managed to break out of his Shinji mode just by being in this world. And, he's had a lot of time to think about things. And in the show, he was kind of immature. Like, he just doesn't want to do anything. He's kind of like really angsty and all that. But out here, he realizes it's much easier for him to follow orders. And the definition of a fulfilling life is kind of different for everyone. I mean, there's people who enjoy being in the military because it was a much simpler lifestyle. You just do as you're told. And that's what Rui kind of feels like he wants. And this is really interesting. You know, he's able to surpass Souta in terms of like his character development just by being here. And he's able to break out of that whiny character and grow. Now, he has a much needed conversation with Souta, you know, man to man, bro to bro kind of thing. And Rui tells him it's useless just to keep moping about the past, you know, just move on and keep creating. It's more productive that way. And, you know, you can't change the past, but you can work towards a better future. And Souta says, well, he's not a hero, but Rui's like, no, you're in this world, you're basically like a god. And it's not like you can say, let there be light and all that, but, you know, he has free will and he's able to decide his own path. Now, you might not succeed, but at least you have the chance. And that's not something these characters have in their own worlds. You know, they're pre-scripted, everything is decided by, well, writers. Souta gets a lot of development in this episode, and that's good. And in my view, I feel like he's on the path of redemption, and he's gonna be a much stronger character in the future. Hopefully. Now, this show has taken me on like a roller coaster. Like, it started off pretty good, it got kind of interesting, then got kind of like boring, and then they had that philosophical conflict and it went back up, and then you had Sota's just him being annoying, and then now it's on the way back up again. I don't know. It's a crazy ride, but it's an enjoyable ride for me. And this is how you know an anime is worth your time. When it's able to just push all your buttons and rile you up, but at the same time, you just need to know what happens in the next episode. So yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. And oh yeah, other things that happened this episode. Celestia's doing all right now. I mean, she heals faster than any human. Although, you know, their anatomy is basically the same as ours. They just have like this crazy ability to heal. And Meteora is obviously fine. She just got kind of smacked pretty badly. They're all good now. So hopefully we'll have more fights with Altair and maybe she'll get taken out soon. So yeah, what did you think about this episode? Let me know in the comments down below. And as always, thanks for watching and I will see you next time. Hey, I just noticed I have the same pen as him.